Hey everybody, Triple Beat here. I'm going over some game settings right now for you guys. First things first, let's go to our gameplay. That's going to be the first place that I normally go. This is how I have my game set up. So I've got it on Legend with simulation, weight detection, a timed pin mini game. Allowed input is off. Rope break is on. Auto reversal for ground attacks is on. Entrance run in for play mode is I have set to player. Mid match run in is for paybacks only. I turned off my post match run in for play mode as well. Blood I have turned on. Subtitles are off. Tutorial tips are off, and edited and created superstars are allowed because I do an AI versus AI fed. And then we have presentation. Superstar HUD is off. Fatigue is on. I like having this on because it makes them act more tired the later the match goes, and it gives it more of a realistic feel. For controller help and match HUD rating, I have that off. My reversal prompt is off. Camera cuts are on. Camera shakes are on. Camera panning is on. Post-match replay is on. Run-in breakout HUD off. Display referee counts on. Watermark image is off. Controller vibration is off. Instant recovery prompt is off. Ring escape is off. That's just the prompt though, so it tells you. So if you're in play mode, it's not going to tell you, hey, if you want to escape the ring, you can. It makes it more difficult. Possum attack prompt, that's also off. And the pin prompt is also off. The reason I have everything off is that if it were on, it would show up when you're doing AI versus AI matches. And I don't like that. I think it takes away from the game itself. Balancing. This is where it gets interesting. My AI standing strike reversal rate, grapple reversal rate, strike reversal rate, or ground strike reversal rate. Pretty much all the AI reversal rates from the first four. Your standing strike, standing grapple, ground strike, and ground grapple, they're all at 90. And that just makes the game more interesting, gives you more reversals, makes the gameplay amazing. My AI finisher reversal rate is at 100. Because I don't want them hitting their finisher that easily. I want the finishers to happen 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the match. And I want them to matter. AI for an object attack reversal rate, I have it 75. I still want them to use weapons. I feel like if I put it any higher, they won't. So I leave it at 75. My grab breaker rate is at 75. Same with combo breaker. Again, it adds for more interesting animations from the AI. They do a lot more in matches than just the same moves over and over and over. Because they actually have to think. Same with the combo rate, that's at 75. Submission rate's at 75. Dive rate is at 75. Springboard rate, 75. AI grapple rate, 75. AI strike rate, 75. AI limb targeting rate, 75. AI running attack rate, 75. Block rate, 75. Dodge rate, 75. Then we get to run-ins. And I don't really like run-ins. I'm not a fan of them. So I put them all at 0. Even though I turn them off in all my matches, I still have them at 0 because you will still get a run-in. Inevitably, the game figures out a way to break that 0, so yeah. Referee downtime, I have it 75. My basic reversal windows are at 75. Now this is for me. I want to make it fair for myself too, so I'm leaving mine at 75 as well. Ground attack reversal rate is also 75. And this is for when you're playing against the AI. This is your probability of reversing these things. My finisher reversal is at 90, so the AI has an advantage over me on all those stats. My weapon reversal is default at 50. Stamina cost, this is for both AI and for you when you're playing. I put it at 25. It just means that you can land more attacks on your opponent without being fatigued. And remember, we had fatigue turned on in gameplay. Your stamina recovery rate, I have at 100, which means you're going to recover your stamina pretty quickly, regardless of where you have it set out on your character. Again, it allows for a slightly longer match. Stunned recovery rate is also at 100. Same reason, gives you a slightly longer match. And you guys will see why I have these set up this way after I go through all this. My rollout frequency, I have at 5. I don't like them rolling out of the ring, or much less spending time out of the ring. That's why these two are at 5. It keeps them from staying outside for too long. And you'll see in the match that I do, sometimes they abuse the amount of time that they're outside. So they'll be out there for 15 seconds, or for a 15 count sometimes. Stun gain, I have at 75. Stun duration, I have at 25. Because stun gain, I believe this is like how easy it is to stun your opponent. And I believe stun duration is the amount of time that they're down and they're out. I don't want them down and out for too long, but I want it easy for you to stun them so you can actually attempt to hit your finisher. Vitality region cooldown I have at 75, and vitality region rate is also at 75. These are also just, this is a way to make the matches a little longer, and give the AI a little bit of a boost, in my opinion. AI difficulty damage scaling I have at 75. Again, you'll see why when we go into the actual character setup, because I have my singles characters and my tag team characters set up a little differently. I don't do level 100, and I don't do Nat Stat. I have specific stat sets for different types of characters, and you'll see what I mean when I get there. My drag escape difficulty is at 75, and my carry escape difficulty is also at 75. This allows for those scenes where they pick up a character, maybe carry them over to a table, and power bomb them through it. You'll get animations like that by having these up there. Now we're gonna go to targeting. I have it on players only, so it's only if you're playing that you'll see it. See the indicators. Everything is set to semi-auto, and all of this stuff is off. If you want to have some fun though, turn target referee to on and do a tag match. You'll notice the referee getting their ass kicked. I do that in 22. I don't do that in 23 because in 23 they have a female ref and I don't need my guys accidentally attacking her. So I have that turned off this year. Now, let's go to the advanced settings for pin difficulty. This is how I have mine set up. As you can see, it gets increasingly easier. It gets increasingly easier for the characters to get pins as time goes on. And I wanted to extend the length of my matches to try and get a 15, 20, or 30-minute match. And that's why I'm doing this. If you don't want that having these at 50 will be fine. You know, having these at 50 across the board on default is perfectly fine if you're not after those longer matches. If you want longer matches, this is what I recommend. Your recent finisher influence for the player. So these are all the player's options. So we're starting at the first one. It's going to be 10. Previous is 20. And previous finisher 30. And then just copy the same thing for the signatures. And then do for your post kick out damage recovery, I leave it at 50. I don't mess with it. That's the one thing that I don't mess with for these. And then for the AI, I do the exact same thing, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, and 50 for their post kick out recovery. They're across the board. Timed pin mini game, I don't mess with that. I tried messing with it. It gave me a shorter match. I tried doing the opposite. It gave me, again, a shorter match. I put it back at default, and I'm back to getting the matches I want. And for my submission mini game, I did make that a little easier. So the higher the number, essentially, for this, as far as what I understood, the higher the number, the stronger the button press. So I lowered it, so submissions are less effective. Attacked wrong person or wrong press penalty for the player. I did the same thing. I lowered the difficulty on it. I lowered the difficulty for button press strength, or I lowered that. I just pretty much lowered all those to 25 and 30 because it helps make the matches a little longer and you get more submission breakouts that way, more back and forth. Get a little bit of downtime as well, so it's almost like they're doing a rest hold like in real life. Like guys will do rest holds in the match to kind of preserve, and it builds a little suspense in the match, so I went ahead and went for it. I was like, you know what, this will work. This will work. So those are my sliders, and that is the slider portion of the video. And now we're going to go ahead and exit this portion, and we're going to go to roster. And I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about. And this is how I set up my wrestlers. So I get those big 25 to 30 minute matches like I get in 22. I did the same thing in 23 recently and switched back over because I noticed the game was going a certain way after a few of the updates. So here's how I have everybody set up. Now you'll notice AJ right here, he's at natural stats. But if I go down here to, like, let's say, I don't know, I'll use my characters as examples, and I did this to everybody. So let's go to Arthur. He's a good example. This is how everybody is normally set up. I'm going to open up his AI attributes. They're all natural. I don't mess with these. I leave them alone. But his attributes, on the other hand, are different, and I do this again for all of my single stars. They're all set up like this. So all of his attack stats, excluding aerial range, all of his attack stats are at 30. His aerial range, this is a Nat Stat. This is one of the only parts on the character that is Nat Stat. That is their aerial range. It depends, because it really does affect how often they go to the top turnbuckle and how often they'll use diving and springboard moves. He's a submission specialist and a ground-based cruiserweight. So he shouldn't be going up and doing high-flying stuff. That's why his is lower. Some of my other cruiserweights, they're a little higher. I even have a heavyweight where it's at max. So that's what I did for him. For all of these defensive stats, This is for single stars. For the guys who will be fighting on one-on-one matches, they're all maxed. And then until you get to special. I keep special and finisher anywhere between 50, 60, and 70. And that just depends on where they are on the card. If they're lower in the card, these are going to be at 50. If they're higher in the card, they'll be at 60. If they're a main eventer, they'll be at 70. But other than that, I stick to this other formula, which is max stats for this stuff. And then minimum stats for the attack stats with aerial range at natural stats. Okay, what about strength? What did I do for him for strength? That shouldn't be there. Okay, I'm actually going to correct something right now. His strength should be about 75. That is the other thing. I keep strength. I keep strength about 10 from max. 10 from max. Unless they're like a super heavyweight, then it's maxed. Because super heavyweights have an unfair advantage. Or have an unfair disadvantage when it comes to speed. So let me hit save. There we go. I completely forgot about strength. Okay. So now let's actually go to a tag team specialist and I can show you the difference. So you'll notice like even Demolition's at a lower stat than everybody else. So here's a tag team specialist, Eddie Ward. So these are how my tag team guys are set up. I gotta go to the top here. So if you're in a tag team, this is what I figure. The matches tend to go long, so what I do is I give them a boost to their attack stats by 10 points. Aerial range again is a Nat stat. It can be wherever you want it. Eddie is a high flying technician, so he's at a 95. But like his other attacks are at 40 because he's a tag team specialist. Strike reversal 80, grapple reversal 80. I mean, you can see minus 10 from max for all these stats. And it's going to be like that across the board until you get to, well, for him, I put these at max or at Nat Stats. So your submission defense is going to be a little lower. Your pin escape is a little lower. Again, he's a tag team wrestler. But it really doesn't matter because I've seen him do really well in singles competition too. And then his strength, that's at Nat Stats. These are all minus 10. And then his finisher, I have it 55. But again, tag team specialist versus single specialist. A single star is going to last probably 20 to or 15 to 30 minutes in a match, in a one-on-one match. But if I put a singles wrestler in a tag match, that match will go on for 45 minutes, and that's not what I want. So let's save here. And then I'll show you guys an example by doing a match with a single star and a tag wrestler. This is another interesting thing. This is what I do for my mid-carders. So they just have the tag team treatment on their defense and their defense and their pin escape and stuff. But Faye's won matches even with this. She's been winning matches. I'm like, how the hell are you winning matches? But that's another story. She's supposed to be that jobber that doesn't quite win, but she's proven me wrong. But yeah, everybody is at a different place in the card. That's how I see it. And all the stats are set up so that way the matches are fair no matter who's facing who. Unless your name is Chimera or Nebula. But that's another story. Those two are on God mode and there's a reason for their stats. But yeah, and I figure these big heavyweight bruisers need a little bit of bulk, especially with how slow they are. But yep, these are the stats. You can see everybody in the 70s, those are the single stars. Everybody in the 60s are the tag stars. With a few exceptions, of course, but I won't mention names. But yeah, that's my setup. So let's go ahead and go to a match. So you have an idea of what these do for you. So we're going to play a match. We'll go to one of my test matches that I've got. We'll do a normal match. For the arena... Where will we go? For the arena, let's go to... You could tell this wasn't planned. We'll go to this Octane Live. I love this arena. So we'll go here for our test match. Let me pick a character now to do this test with. I'm going to pick two. I'm going to pick one who's a single star and one tag specialist. So you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Not Betty. She's brutal. Where's Betty at? I'll put her against Faye. Here we go. This will be our match. And you can see Betty's at a 73, Faye's at a 59. They're both in different places on the card, but Faye will be, as you'll see when the match starts, Faye's going to be just as competitive as Betty. Swear to God, if this match starts and like Betty wins in 5 minutes, I'm just gonna be face palming myself. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Octane Live. Making her way to the ring, Betty Maclleod-Duncan. As she gets ready for her one-on-one match with the very young Faye Williams. Or the rookie Faye Williams, I should say. Not very young. Faye's like 21, I think. Just a kid, fresh out of the wrestling academy, is Faye Williams. She'll be facing off against Betty Macleod, our acting general manager of Octane Live. Betty stepping up into the management role after Delvin had a mental breakdown and decided to attack Kyle Young and steal the undisputed title. Faye Williams making her way to the ring. Again, 21 years old, out of Osaka, Japan. Wait, no, she's not from Osaka, Japan. I'm sorry. She's from England. Gosh, dang it, I gotta get that right. She's from Manchester, England. She's just into that cosplay stuff. Alright, here we go. These two getting ready to face off. As they are staring each other down before the match starts. And this match is underway. Betty with the Hurricane Rana to Faye. Going after her feet. Oh, and a kick to the face of Betty Macleod. Faye on top of things. Dropping Betty onto the mat. Rolls her over. And Betty with a reversal. Stomping on the arm. Faye rolling out of the way. Oh, nope. They went for an attack and missed. They tie up again. Irish whip into the corner and a clothesline to Faye Williams. And Betty with a bulldog out of the corner. Betty from Glasgow, Scotland. Faye from Manchester, England. And Betty going over the top rope. Oh, damn. Faye with a nice reversal. Going after the arm of Betty. Oh, damn. Stomp onto the arm of Betty Macleod. Faye picking her back up. They tie up again. Sends her back in the ring. Faye's going to go back in the ring. Here we go. They tie up. Drags her down. She's got Betty in a headlock. Oh, man. Betty with a reversal. Faye stomping on the chest of Betty. Trying to keep the pressure on, but Betty with a reversal again and a stomp to the arm. Betty off the ropes. Onto the back of Faye Williams. And Faye fighting out of it. They tie up, kick to the midsection. Betty Irish whip into the ropes and drops her down. Betty kicking Faye in the ribs. Oh, and a stomp to the arm. Oh. Betty not giving Faye an inch. Waiting for her to get back up. Here we go, they tie up. She's going to put her against the ropes. Faye with a reversal kick to the midsection. Here we go. Irish whip into the ropes again. And an arm drag by Faye Williams. Betty getting back to her feet. Stomp to the arm of Faye. Faye sweeping the legs of Betty. Kick to the midsection. Betty with a reversal. And a kick of her own. Faye fighting back. They tie up again. Faye putting Betty into a submission. And Betty reversing and fighting out of it. Nice kick to the jaw of Faye Williams. And Betty going over the top. Oh, damn. Betty using the ropes to dive outside again. Unlike her husband, Arthur Duncan, Betty will fly. Is not afraid to jump over that top rope and do what needs to be done to her opponents. As Faye reverses, getting back in the ring, they tie up again. Irish whip and Faye over the ropes again. Betty with an elbow and Faye with a reversal. Faye getting back in the ring. Betty fighting back. Irish whip into the ropes. Nope. DDT onto the mat from Betty Macleod. She rolls her up into a pin. One and only a one. These two facing off again. The DDT onto the mat. Faye getting right back up. Rookie has no quit in her. Betty Macleod is no joke. She is not someone you want to look past in that ring. She might be one of the smaller competitors, but she is 100% lean muscle, and she has taken on opponents bigger than her and made them tap. Faye needs to be very careful. If Betty locks in the Black Widow, this match could be over. It's Faye fighting back against Betty, stomping on the arm, trying to wear her down. We got a stomp to the arm again and a knee to the back of Betty Macleod. Faye picks her back up. They tie up again. She drops her on her knee. Oh, man. And Faye stomping away at Betty. Betty rolling to the outside. Faye going to the top rope. And, oh, a double axe handle to Betty Macleod. Betty rolling out of the way. Punch to the chest of Faye. Faye with a nice reversal. Kick to the midsection again. Back on the attack. Betty with a reversal. Here we go. They tie up. Faye dropping Betty. Headbutt to the face. A stomp to the midsection of Betty Macleod. Faye working on her. Dropping her on the mat. Betty could be in trouble here. They are near that table. Nope. Referee at a count of 6, and these women getting back in the ring. Faye going to the top rope. Lands the elbow drop to the back of Betty. She rolls her over, going for the pin. 1, and only a 1. Here we go. Faye picking her back up. Oh, and a super kick. Now, what is she doing? She's waiting for Betty to get back up. Goes for a kick. Betty moved out of the way. Going against the ropes, and a Frankensteiner. Faye could be in trouble. Betty picks her back up. Black Widow locked in. She is going to try and make her tap. Betty trying her best. She has really got it locked in, and Faye fighting out of it. Dropping her onto the mat. Both women getting back to their feet. Betty punching Faye in the chest. Drops her onto the mat. Betty, submission lock applied. Faye could be in trouble. Nope, nope, nope. She is fighting out of it. Faye fighting out of the submission hold. There we go. They tie up again. What fight from the rookie. She drops underneath Betty. Picks her up and drops her on the mat again. Oh, and a knee to the back of Betty Macleod. Oh! Damn! Betty getting driven onto the mat, and Betty with a reversal. Waiting for Faye to get back to her feet. Betty drops her down onto the mat. And she's going to pick her back up, but Faye sweeping the legs of Betty. And Betty pulling herself up. Trying to pull herself up to her feet. Oh, nice reversal from Betty Macleod. She gets back in the ring. And, oh, a neck breaker. Faye with a nice reversal. They tie up again. Irish whip into the ropes. Faye ducking under. Oh, and a kick to the face. Betty getting back to her feet. Oh, 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 oh. Nice reversal from Betty. Oh, and a knee to the jaw. She rolls her over into the pin. 1, 2, and only a 2. Faye able to kick out. She rolls around, gets back to her feet. Here we go. Kick to the midsection of Betty. They tie up again. Betty with a reversal. Another tie up. Irish whip into the ropes. Drops her face first onto the mat. Betty picks Faye back up. Oh, and a code breaker. And Betty going to the top rope. Oh, nice moonsault into the pin. 1, 2, and Faye kicking out. Faye kicking out. What heart from this rookie. Not making it easy on Betty, and she drops her on the mat. Faye doing a lot better than I thought. She's lasted 10 minutes in the ring with Betty, and oh, good Lord. Betty connected on that dive over the top rope, but she didn't get everything, and she connected more with the floor than she did with Faye. Picks her back up. They tie up again. Irish whip into the ring. Betty climbing back in the ring. Waiting for Faye to get back to her feet. Faye back to her feet. They tie up. Faye with a reversal. Kick to the midsection. Here we go. Again, Irish whip into the ropes. This kid has some fight. Lasting 10 minutes so far against Betty. They tie up again. She sweeps her down, and more punches to the head of Betty Macleod. These test matches I'm doing have an hour-long time limit, so I can keep track of how long the competitors are fighting. That was the whole point of the test match. was to see how long of a match I could get with these stats and this setup. Obviously, you don't want every match to go super long, so the hope was that maybe if I had characters that were a little lower than others, the matches wouldn't go over 15 minutes. Faye going for a pin, 1, 2, and only a 2. But as you can see, it doesn't really matter. I'm still getting about the same length of match. So you could probably get away with this at level 100. Betty dropping her down. Using Arthur's submission hold. That is the Dragon Slayer. Arthur uses that. He's tapped many opponents out with that move. Arthur, a former undisputed champion. Betty working on Faye. Faye dropping to the outside. Betty going to the top rope. Oh! Jeez! What a moonsault. She did a corkscrew moonsault from the frickin' turnbuckle to the floor. Holy shit. Kicked to the midsection from Betty. Faye fighting out. This is just a one-on-one match, too. Imagine if this were a hardcore match and they were using weapons. Faye taking her down, punching away. Like, I've had some insane hardcore matches with these settings. They're all recorded, and I can't wait to show you guys. That little tournament that I'm doing to determine the number one contender for the undisputed title. Boy, some of those fatal 4-ways were intense. Now, they have a 20 count to get back in the ring, and there's a reason for that. With these settings, with the characters set up with the stats they have, they spend more time out of the ring. Out of the ring. So, since that's a thing, what I've pretty much done is I did a 20 count on the outside, and that allows these matches to continue on and keep going. Oh, Faye with a reversal. I've seen them fight to 19 before going back in the ring. And that happens when they start getting more tired. He's at 12, girls. Get back in the ring. Or 16, I'm sorry. Get back in the ring. Oh, shit. Now they're just getting carried away. Betty's going to run back in the ring. Look at how sweaty they are, too. They've been going, and you can just see how fatigued and tired they are, and Betty locking in the Black Widow, but Faye quickly fighting out of it. That's where those reversal stats come in. That's where those submission stats in the advanced settings come in at that lower setting. It allows for this kind of back and forth. They tie up, Irish whip into the ropes, ducking under. Faye with an arm drag to Betty. Faye gonna go for the pin. 1. And the referee saw the rope break. See, folks, this is what happens when you don't have Screwjob Steve as your referee. He actually sees rope breaks. Thank you, Slick, for actually doing your job. Faye picking Betty back up to her feet. Punch to the face of Betty Macleod. Oh! Betty Maclleod-Duncan in trouble. It's Betty climbing to the ropes. Faye taunting her, running at her. Oh! Elbow to the face. Oh, and she's got that foot on her neck. Betty in trouble. Faye not wanting to... Oh, Betty with the reversal going for the pin. 1, 2... 3, and that is it. That is a match. These two, they look beat up and tired and exhausted. What a match we just witnessed. Faye going right after Betty. Oh, man. Even got Slick saying back off. Jeez, look at that match. What a match we just had. So those are the sliders and the game setup. That's how I was able to get that 15-minute match. And that 15-minute match would have been even longer had I used 2 main eventers. So with the stats I have set and the way that I have my game set, I'm at least getting a 15-minute match with a main eventer and a what I call upper mid-card jobber, which was Faye. Most characters, though, are set up as main eventers, and it's 50-50 as far as who wins. That's the experience that I've had with it. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the match, and then that's my setup. So if you guys have any questions about it, just leave me questions in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer the why behind it. Pretty much I wanted to switch back to Nat Stats because when I was doing level 100 matches, I was getting bored with the matches. They were too short, in my opinion. I was okay with the quicker matches at first, but when I realized I could call longer ones from 22, I need to try and do the same in 23. And I have to say that they've turned out a lot better in 23, doing the same thing I did in 22. The matches are just phenomenal and insane. So, I think what I might do is I might do a few tag matches, and I might just talk about the way that I have things set up for those later on, or do a little series on it, break it down into smaller videos, make it a little more consumable. Let me know in the comments what you guys think I should do. On that note, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. If you don't mind, do me a favor, leave a like, and if you really, really, really enjoyed the content, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and it will help me out a lot. Also, I go live on weekends, so on Saturdays and Sundays. If I can't do a Saturday or a Sunday, I'll do a Friday night, so I can at least get a stream in, or like if I know that I'm going to be gone for the weekend, I'll do it the day before I leave or something like that, just so that way I can get a stream in for the week. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.